What's the number one challenge for businesses today?
Workforce development, attracting, recruiting, and retaining people.
And that's why we created this podcast, designed for the frustrated CEO, the under-resourced recruiter, or the overworked manager, to give you the tools to tackle those WTF moments.
It's time to open another workforce therapy file.
All right, welcome back to the Workforce Therapy Files. We are reporting live from the Kentucky SHRM Conference here in beautiful Lexington, Kentucky. And I don't know about you guys, but I'm so grateful for the change in weather. It is so nice outside.
We're not having that conversation
Okay, because we're inside. Yeah, that makes sense.
Freezing.
Yeah.
So Molly and I are joined by two new friends from the Leadership Louisville. So please introduce yourselves.
Yes, well, my name is Donald Woolridge, and I'm the Director for Leadership Development with the Leadership Louisville Center.
Love it.
And my name is Paul Bolton. I'm the Director of Business Development for the Leadership Louisville Center. But we're Leadership Louisville Center, but we're doing business as, and our partner brand that Don and I both lead together with a few folks that aren't with us is Leading Better, our training and development arm of our business. So that's why we're Kentucky
Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah.
Well, you put me on the spot, but I think I
Sorry.
can utter a few words. Leading Better came out of the Leadership Louisville Center by through the ways of our community leadership programs, where we have leaders at the center from anywhere from 6 months, sometimes up to a year, all different levels of leadership, from emerging to senior leaders, executive leaders, and even those that go into retirement. The request years ago was, how do I bring this from just me being here in the center, going able to go through this experience and take it to others, take it to more, take it back to my organization. So that's really where Leading Better came about, as some of the trainings and development we were doing within our cohort leadership programs to, hey, let's can that and take it out of just the program, instead of just for the some, be able to bring it to the many. So and so here we are today.
I love that spirit of some to the many. That's great, especially around this topic.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. I wasn't familiar with Leading Better, so I'm glad that you gave us that intro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So we've got a list of questions that chat gave us, 1 through 10, and we're asking our guests to choose a number between 1 and 10. And that'll be the question that we read for you guys to respond to. So drum roll, please. What number are we going with?
Lucky 7.
Lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7.
Okay, let me put my eyes on, as Jamie would say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we ready? What does leadership look like in a future where teams are more global, virtual, and project-based?
Yeah, I'll tackle that one. I think leadership is going to look pretty much the same, and the reason I say that is, leadership is both universal and timeless. So regardless of what culture you find yourself in, or regardless of what time period, leadership is pretty much interpersonal connectivity. It is about reaching the individual on a very cellular level, making that one-on-one connection, working with empathy, understanding their needs. Leadership defined is influence. And no matter what technological advancement we find ourselves in, it will require individuals working closely with other individuals and moving them and inspiring them in a direction to achieve a desirable result.
That's great.
Yes.
The only thing I would add is the person might change as how they view leadership, because if they're remote or if they're in person. So I think everything that Don just brought up is bridges the gap between, if you really get to know who those folks are that you're leading, you can dispel some of those myths they might have about leadership, or thinking that there's a shift, or it's different because I'm virtual and that person's in person, and how they're treated might be differently. So I think as leaders today, that's happening right now, probably in many offices, but you can erase that immediately by just the transparency. And I think that 1-to-1, I know it seems like it takes too much time, but really it takes a lot of time, replacing a person too. It's gone. Yes. So there's a value in the time management of a leader. And are you taking care of people in person, virtually? And lastly, are we setting them up for success, making sure they understand exactly some of those milestones and things that need to be achieved. So, and Molly, I think you would appreciate this too. Also, are we looking at our job descriptions to make sure
Yes.
that we're hiring that right person for
That's
that right
right.
position?
Yes.
And we might need to get the dust off of some of those old
Yes.
job descriptions and update those a little bit. So
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It is crazy when you speak with leaders and they're like, well, the talent that I'm talking to for this job isn't really what I need for the role. And well, did you write the job description for the role that you're trying to hire? Well, it's the one that we've always had.
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, let's talk about some due diligence on that area.
If it's the one you always had, you're going to get what you always got.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That needs to be a hashtag.
Yes. It's a little long.
It is.
That's what Brad told me earlier. The hashtags are supposed to be short. One of the things I really liked that you said was it's kind of like, where do you want to spend your time? And do you want to spend time on somebody you found already and taking care of that person? Or do you want to spend time finding somebody else?
Yeah.
Why would you not want to spend time investing in the person you already selected and who
Yeah.
chose to work for your company and clearly wants to be there?
Yeah. And there's some great stuff within us all, and you just need a coach to help bring it out, right?
Absolutely.
I was talking to somebody the other day about, I used to do more running than I do now, but like that we're all born runners. We're all born
What?
active. We're all born
Nobody
active
told me
people.
that. Nobody told me.
When we're kids,
Jamie didn't get that
When
running
we're
memo.
memo.
kids, we're running around
He's
house to
lying.
house. We're energetic, and then all of a sudden things change. But just a coach that's able to bring what's already inside of you out, like you are, and you know that person. Man, that's like, there's something to that. There's a lot of gratification that's, I'm going to help you see some things you haven't been able to see before. That's all
Yeah.
you're doing, right? So,
Yeah.
So,
I love that.
So I'm going to also give you a popcorn question. This is the way that we do this is we have our last guest provide you a question, and then you get to create a question for our next guest. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, the group that we were just talking to, one of their areas of focus is around improving the quality of life of the people that work with them. So what approach, think policy, practice, benefit, training, what approach do you see that most positively affects the quality of life for people in an organization?
Yeah. I think if you look at it through a leadership lens, I think the organizational leader plays a big role in that. Okay, in terms of setting the tone of what the work environment looks like. So again, going back to some of those basic leadership principles with regards to empathy, really pouring into your people, making sure they have everything that they need in order to be successful, and then creating an environment where their voice is heard, giving them an opportunity to put skin in the game, right? As long as everything aligns with the organization's core values and their true north mission statement, then it is okay for any member of your staff to speak openly and freely about those topics, and it should be encouraged. If organizational leaders take that type of positioning, it can go a long way in creating that balance that we so desperately need and what you hear people basically begging for.
Yeah.
I'll just add that I think this is going to sound weird, but we're not hiring and training individuals. We're hiring an individual that's a part of a bigger sum that's not at work. So they are parents, they are spouses and partners, they are grandparents. And when we recruit and hire people, we're hiring families, we're coaching families. So anything that we can do to improve that person is going to have a residual impact that is monumental. And I'm telling you, for retention purposes, I think if your partner or spouse doesn't like where you work, retention is going to be an issue.
It's going to be a
Yeah.
challenge.
There you go.
It's going to be a
Sure.
problem.
Yeah.
Let's remember who these folks are when they're not at work. And I do think it will kind of frame how we decide to treat them.
Yeah.
So
The HR team that I lead, one of the things that we had a conversation about very early on was switching from calling our head count heads, bodies, head count.
yeah.
So we now talk about we support this number of people and
Yeah.
families. So we
Yeah.
support so many families. So
Mhm.
how would the so many families react to this decision? And I
Mhm.
think it is a different way to challenge your thinking whenever you're coming up with things like shift changes, benefit changes, a different approach to compensation when you're thinking about it affecting families. So I really love hearing you say that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I got real passionate there for a second. And I
Because you
appreciate it.
don't hear that.
No.
You don't hear people. The way that it's always been is that mindset of the union worker, you work here for 20, 30 years, you retire, you get the pension, you get the 401k, you get all the benefits, but that life doesn't exist anymore.
Right.
We don't have companies that provide, typically, more often than not, those types of benefits. So encompassing the entire family and the decision for that position to be filled with this one individual and the impact that that ripple effect is going to make, there's ownership in that. And instead of thinking of it as, oh, here we go again with HR wanting to come in and make change and do all of this, it's a cultural movement.
Yeah.
It's not just about that season or that role. It's about the culture of your company and driving it and lifting it up.
Yeah.
But clearly we could get a little passionate.
Yeah, we like this topic.
Yeah.
No,
We
it's
like
a
this
great topic. So hopefully we hear it talked about more.
Well,
yes.
It is my genuine hope that you have had an amazing conference experience
been
here
great.
at Kentucky
It's been
SHRM.
great.
We're grateful for the opportunity to be here as well with you guys and that you chose to come and spend a few moments of your time
Of course.
Yes.
with us
It
at
was
the Workforce
great.
Therapy Files.
It was
Now,
great.
don't forget, you guys need to leave a question for the
yes.
next guest.
Molly,
Yes,
thank you. So what question do you want us to ask them?
Do you have one? Dawn is wiser than I.
Oh, okay.
You could, that's okay. We're not going to put you on the spot on here. It'll be a surprise question for our next guest, and we'll
Okay.
wrap up today, and
All
then
right.
you can give some time to think about it. How about that?
All
We
right.
intentionally wanted it to
That
be a
works.
surprise.
You want it to be a surprise?
Way to think what
That's
we're
right.
thinking.
No, I
See
appreciate
what we
that.
just did
There
there?
you go.
That's right. That's right.
All
It's
right.
purpose leadership right there.
Yes, there you
Yeah.
go.
All right. Well, thank you guys very
Thank
much.
you very
Thank
much.
you all.
All
And
right.
Lee, close that file.
Thanks for listening to the Workforce Therapy Files. We hope you learned something new, and we're thankful for the time that you spent with us today. If there's a topic you'd like us to discuss, reach out to us. Our contact information's listed in the show notes. Until next time, keep your head up.